Okay, so Border Wars Ring of Honor review. Finally got to finish the replay, and yeah, got to see the show. I don't want to spend the entire time talking about how Ring of Honor had the horrible mess up with the stream this weekend. I think everybody's already talked about that enough. I mentioned it in my Ring of Honor TV review. However, because this is a review of the pay-per-view, and if you haven't seen my review of the TV show for this week, I do have to mention it. Basically, for those that don't know, what happened was over 50% of the people that went to the site to either pay for the show or who had already paid could not log into the Ring of Honor website in order to watch Border Wars. I was one of the over 50%, and apparently so was Jim Cornette himself. So yeah, this was a horrible disaster, and the last thing Ring of Honor needed after the terrible Showdown in the Sun production. Which I still like the pay-per-view Showdown in the Sun. I thought they were both good, but the production problems really hurt that, and this was the last thing Ring of Honor needed. However, the good news is that for those who do not want, they will give refunds. I do have to say that, but for those who do not want a refund and just want to go and keep the show, Border Wars on demand, you get it for like a year on demand. So if you just want to keep the show, you don't want the refund, you just want the replay, they will give you Best in the World for free, which is their next pay-per-view. And you also get to keep it on demand. So in my opinion, I'm happy with that compensation. I know a lot of people aren't. They're saying I'm giving up on ROH, and they're saying they just want a refund. They're never buying another pay-per-view. That's fine. Me personally, I think getting the next pay-per-view for free is fine compensation. I get both shows on demand, and to be honest, they have over a month for Best in the World. They're definitely going to have this fixed. If they don't, I'm going to sound like a complete idiot, but I strongly believe that they will have this fixed, and I believe in the product. I want to support it, and I really feel bad for the wrestlers because they're expecting all these people to be watching this live, and they're going out there and they're putting like everything into the matches, and then they end up getting screwed with crap like this happening. So, I mean, I'm sure they're really disappointed, and I think that Ring of Honor will have the pay-per-view problem fixed because they can't afford another disaster like this. So I really doubt it would happen again. But on to the show itself, I thought it was a decent pay-per-view. However, my enjoyment was severely limited because all weekend trying to look up when the replay is going to be available, how to log into the website. I got to see the last 3 matches live. However, I missed the first 2 hours, so all weekend I'm trying to get to see the show, to get my review up, and just because I want to watch it, obviously, and I get spoiled by the matches. So, yeah, watching the show, I think there was one match, no, there was 2, the Young Bucks and All Night Express tag, and Michael Elgin versus Adam Cole. Those were the only 2 matches I did not know the outcome. So very disappointing. However, I also got to see the last 3 matches live, so that wasn't too big of a deal. But yeah, some of the matches I really cared about, like Tommaso Ciampa versus Jay Lethal, knowing the outcome of that just is a major spoiler. So I was very disappointed with that. However, I have to say, if I'm just watching the show as a whole, I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view. The matches were good. There was no match like Elgin Richards from Showdown in the Sun. However, like Steen Richards was really good in its own right. It just had an awesome atmosphere. The crowd, they had a lot of people here for the show. A lot of people. Packed house, hot crowd the entire time. So just really good. And I think it was the crowd that really helped make this one. But yeah, the matches were good too. Except for, I mean, I'll get into those. So anyway, and I also wanted to mention, because I was reading this on, I think it was Dave Meltzer said that Jim Cornette refused to go to Canada. They put it over like he wasn't allowed or something, but I do think I remember him saying he would never go back there because of the border stuff. And he was trying to watch it from home and couldn't log in. And I think Meltzer said that he would have hated to be in that house that night. And I could just imagine Jim Cornette not being able to watch the pay-per-view. I mean, can you even imagine that? Just what took place there, what transpired that night in the Cornette house. That would be amazing to see in itself. But on to the show. Rhino and Truth come out. Truth cuts a promo on how Rhino only cares about money. He's there to pave a way for Roderick and Elgin to the title, starting with Eddie Edwards. We get Rhino versus Eddie. Truth tries to hit Eddie with the Book of Truth. He almost hits Rhino, and Rhino puts on the brakes. Eddie rolls him up and gets the win. Afterwards, Rhino was about to beat up Truth. This was so funny. Truth gets on his knees. He pulls some money out of his pockets, and Rhino takes the money and decides he'll let Truth live. So I thought this was really funny. The match itself was really good. Great opener. Eddie Edwards, Rhino, both great workers. So awesome match here. I really like this one. Then we see some promos for the All Night Express and the Young Bucks match. Kenny King cuts this promo. Apparently he was really in the Christmas spirit or something, because he starts talking about having a Santa bag full of black eyes, broke legs, and hospital beds for the Young Bucks. He calls them ho-ho-hos. Just really weird. I don't know why. Kevin Kelly mentioned something about that too. But we get Young Bucks and Mike Mondo versus All Night Express and TJ Perkins. Those Young Bucks shirts with the tassels, that's awesome. That is a great idea for them just to get heat and look like assholes pretty much. And I think it works. However, this match, there was a couple botches. That poor Mike Mondo, I don't know what was up with this guy. I don't know if he was nervous or what was going on with him, but he was botching a lot of stuff here. Crowd was doing the usual chants when he messes up, "you fucked up," and it just, it was kind of sad. However, most of the match was really good, especially the end when everybody's running in the ring, and it was really amazing stuff. All Night Express and Perkins win after a powerbomb blockbuster combo, followed by a 450 from Perkins. So this was another good match. I have to say, despite the botches, it could have been a much better match. However, I think it was still really good. Then we get Tommaso Ciampa versus Jay Lethal. Prince Nana has cut his hair. They said it's to get a more corporate image, but I'm not a fan of this. Oh, and Tommaso Ciampa has dyed his beard blonde. This looks like absolute crap. He needs to get rid of this immediately. It looks weird, and it does not help him in the least bit. So I don't know what he was thinking, but yeah, he really needs to get rid of this blonde beard. A lot of Embassy interference in this match. Artie Evans took a couple bumps, or I think Ernesto maybe took a bump too. Lethal hits 10 backbreakers, and then the Lethal combination for the win. So Lethal wins, Ciampa loses his streak, and I gotta say I was kind of disappointed by this. I have become a fan of Tommaso Ciampa, and for him to lose the streak like this, just really underwhelming. I mean, he's been undefeated for what, over a year? And for it to just go like this is really bad in my opinion. I did not care for this. Match was decent though. Mike Bennett versus Lance Storm. Maria is not here, however Brutal Bob is. Bennett brings in a chair. Ref's distracted by Brutal Bob. Storm ducks the chair, hits Bennett in the back with it, and then hits the super kick for the win. Afterwards, Storm cuts a promo saying, "If I can be serious for a minute," which I thought was awesome. He just thanks the fans, he thanks Ring of Honor. I have to say that I thought this was a good match, and it was a great moment for Storm to win in Canada. I don't know if I like this one better than the Showdown in the Sun match, though. I really like the Showdown in the Sun match, and this one, I don't know if it was as good as that. However, both awesome matches. Adam Cole versus Michael Elgin with Truth. Elgin catches Cole in a suicide dive and then hits a running power slam on the ramp. Then Elgin hits this crazy spot. He hits a Falcon Arrow. However, he is in the ring and he's standing on the second turnbuckle. Adam Cole is on the apron. He reaches over, picks this guy up, lifts him all the way in, and then hits a Falcon Arrow and brings him over. That is an insane amount of strength right there. I was very impressed. Elgin, being Canadian, he was also a babyface here. Fans were rooting for him the whole time. Then Cole jumps off the top rope. Elgin catches him again, hits the buckle bomb, hits the spinning power bomb for the win. This was a pretty good match. Afterwards, Truth sends Elgin away. He says, "Go take a shower, I got this," because the next match is Finlay and Roderick Strong. So he sends Elgin to the back. Elgin leaves, he's shaking his head. Adam Cole super kicks Truth out of the ring, and Elgin just picks him up. He kind of smiles at Adam Cole and walks Truth to the back, or carries him to the back. Michael Elgin is definitely turning babyface. I'm not sure when they're going to pull the trigger on this. However, it's got to be soon because dude's definitely getting over just on his work ethic, just this amazing strength he has, and just how good of a worker he is. He's got a lot of people's respect. And I think that this match was probably the start of his babyface turn. He could go on a feud with Rhino or Roderick, anything like that. House of Truth breakup is definitely coming in the future. This match was good. Then we get Fit Finlay versus Roderick Strong for the TV title. Obviously, Truth is out. Nigel McGuinness is marking out hard for Fit Finlay here. If anybody else saw this show, you know what I'm talking about. Nigel was going on and on about his love for Fit Finlay. It was kind of cool, I thought, because he's a great wrestler in his own right, and he's marking out for Fit Finlay, who was one of his idols, really putting the guy over. This match, however, was really slow-paced. I expected a lot more out of this match. It just left me wanting more. Roderick wins with a big kick to the face. However, I gotta say this match, even though it wasn't as good as I expected it to be, really made Roderick Strong look great. Having him go out there and stand toe-to-toe with a guy like Fit Finlay and him just give it back just as hard as he's getting it, I think really made Roderick look awesome. So I'm glad he won this match. Oh man, then we get World's Greatest Tag Team versus the Briscoes. Fight without honor, which is basically no DQ for the tag team titles. Well, to start the match off, Jay comes out alone. Announcers say Mark may have been stuck at the border. Now, this is another thing that sucks about the production going down and people not being able to watch the show live. The Briscoes on Twitter were hyping this up. Jay said something like Mark's getting a lot of hassle at the border. They had a plan to do this and maybe tease people for a little bit that something really did happen, then have Mark come out as a surprise. And when you try things like this and then you have stuff like the stream not work, it just killed it. I mean, yeah. So anyways, Mark does come out. He attacks the World's Greatest Tag Team from behind. He's dressed like a hockey player. He's got a hockey stick. The match was decent. Mark goes up top, but Shelton kicks him off, and he goes through a table. Charlie Haas actually gets busted open a bit here, but I think it was hard way. Shelton gets Jay up over his head. Jay hits him in the top of the head with a chain around his fist, and Shelton and Jay go through a table. Then Charlie Haas sprays a rag with ether, puts it over Mark's face, knocks him out, pins him. We get new tag team champions. I thought that the match was decent. The finish was lame as hell. This was really stupid and not the best idea in the world. I know a lot of other people are really unhappy with this. I did get to see this one live, and I saw this and I was like, what the hell is this? Seriously, an ether rag? And poor Kevin Kelly, he's trying to put this rag over. Oh my God, is he putting this over? He tells some guy to go get him the can. He's got it. He's like, my God, I can't even breathe because of this smell. Nigel says, take it away, it's horrible. Kevin's like, this is affecting us this bad. I can't imagine what it did to Mark. He's asking the fans if they can smell it and just really trying to put this over. But, if you're going to have to put something over that hard, is it worth doing? Why not just have a regular finish? And plus, do we really need to have this feud continue? It's been a year, guys. Briscoes and World's Greatest Tag Team. Can we move on finally? But no, with this Ether thing, oh my God, they're going to keep it going. They're going to do it again. They got to. So I was disappointed with this. However, the match was decent up until that point. They start to talk. Kevin Kelly starts to talk about Steen and Richards. However, production messes up here and they play a recap video while he's talking. Really bizarre. They mentioned that Kyle O'Reilly was supposed to be in Davey's corner tonight. However, he had a death in the family and could not be there. Makes me a little curious what they had planned for this, because Jimmy Jacobs does come out with Kevin Steen. And like I said, and Steve Corino comes out for commentary here. However, you can't hear him at all. I don't know if it happened during the Briscoe match, but something happened with the audio. You can hear Nigel and Kevin fine. However, when they bring Corino out and he puts the headset on, you can't hear shit. He's talking, and they're answering him, but you can't hear anything he's saying. Just really annoying. However, this match was awesome. Steen is a babyface, obviously. And Steen goes, here's just a few of the spots. Steen goes for a swanton, but Richards gets the knees up. Then Steen puts Richards' mouthpiece in like he did with O'Reilly at TV. I hate this spot. It's freaking disgusting, man. I really hate this spot. But he gets him in the sharpshooter. Richards gets the ropes. Richards hits a DR driver, since the pile drivers are legal, which I thought was pretty cool. Steen kicks out. Steen hits the F5, but Richards kicks out. Then he hits a moonsault, but Richards kicks out. Richards gets Steen in the ankle lock. He pulls a turnbuckle off, reverses it. Richards goes flying into the exposed turnbuckle, and then Steen hits him with a sleeper hold suplex, and then the package pile driver for the win. We get a new World Heavyweight Champion, and it's Kevin Steen. Pretty awesome stuff here. After the match, Kerry Silken refuses to hand the belt to Steen, which is something he does for every new champion. So Todd Sinclair hands it to him. And then Steen, Jimmy Jacobs, and Steve Corino all hug each other. So I guess this is like a new heel stable maybe. And I'm just thinking that Davey Richards' heel turn would be awesome. Davey worked great as a heel here, and I just thought it really helped make this match. However, I wanted Steen to win, and I'm glad he did. I just really thought they would put it off until Best in the World. And I don't know if it was the technical issues that just gave me like a pissed off mind frame for this, but I just was a little disappointed. I thought the match was good. It just didn't feel as epic as it should. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way. It's just Steen winning just didn't feel like it had that huge moment of a new world champion. And I was a little disappointed by that. However, I have to say, this show was pretty good. Once you get past all the flaws that happened this weekend and you just get to sit down and watch the show, it's not a bad pay-per-view. And I can't really complain too much because, like I said, I'm happy with the compensation of getting Best in the World for free, and that's fine with me. I'm not going to get a refund. I kept the show to watch the replay, and I'll get the replay for Best in the World too, so everything's cool with me on that end. However, that's it for this review. And like I said, the show was good. If you want to see it, you should definitely check it out because there's a lot of great matches on here. Just Elgin Cole, that's a great match. And Steen, Richards, obviously, Eddie Rhino, just tons of great matches here. So I wasn't really disappointed in this pay-per-view. I thought it had a lot of great stuff, and that's it really. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this Border Wars review, and I will be back with my review of the train wreck of Extreme Reunion. My God, I've already started to watch half of this show, and it is horrendous. I don't even know what more could happen that hasn't already happened. So definitely look for that review and my review of CZW Proving Grounds coming up too. I should probably have those uploaded very soon, definitely by tomorrow. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Leave your thoughts on Border Wars in the comments below. And that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.